Hi, this is Steve. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a setting called a tracking pixel to follow your visitors through your sales funnel so you can see exactly what they're doing. You know, when they click away, when they buy, how much they buy, what your return on investment is, and so many other important metrics that you need to watch in order to run a profitable online marketing campaign. Tracking your sales funnel is one of the most valuable investments you can make because it takes very little effort but can produce huge results. Now, if none of what I just said makes any sense to you right now, don't worry. That's what this video is for, to turn a complex idea into a simple process that anyone can follow. So to get started, we're going to need a sales funnel that we can use as an example. Let's go to the whiteboard. Now this page shows a basic sales funnel for a type of bottled water called Antarctic snow water. Here you see the email opt-in page, and if they enter their email address here, they're taken to the sales page where they're presented with an offer. If they click the buy button, then they're taken to the checkout page. And finally, if they enter their payment information, they're taken to the thank you page. Now, if you were sending traffic to this site, wouldn't it be a good idea to know what percentage of people made it to each of these pages? For example, if you knew that only 2% of the people who made it to the opt-in page actually made it to your sales page, then you could reasonably assume that something is wrong with your opt-in page. Maybe the opt-in page is ineffective, or maybe your traffic doesn't match your offer in what's called a message to market mismatch. Maybe they're expecting to see shoes and your website is about cars. Obviously, they're not going to buy. Whatever the reason, if you didn't know that your opt-in page was getting such horrible results, you wouldn't know that it's costing you money, and you certainly wouldn't know that you needed to fix it. And that's where tracking pixels are useful. So let's get into that right now. In order to track your funnel, you simply need to register an action every time your visitor takes a step through that funnel. For example, in this funnel, if a visitor makes it to the sales page, then you know that they correctly entered their email address. If they make it to the checkout page, then you know that they clicked the buy button on the sales page. And if they make it to the thank you page, then you know that they entered their payment information and it was accepted. The idea behind a tracking pixel is to simply display a small Clickmagick graphic in each of these pages, and when that small graphic is displayed along with the rest of the page, then Clickmagick knows what action was just taken. Now Clickmagick uses the smallest graphic possible, a single dot, and in graphics terminology, a single dot is called a pixel. That's where the name tracking pixel comes from. So to track this funnel, all we need to do is paste a Clickmagick tracking pixel into each of these pages, and when the pixel is displayed, it fires and reports the action to the most recently visited tracking link, which in this case is the tracking link that points to the opt-in page. To make it easy for you to see what's happening in your stats, Clickmagick has three different types of tracking pixels. The first is an action tracking pixel, which is normally the first action in your funnel. The second is the sales tracking pixel, which is normally the last action in your funnel. And the third is the engagement tracking pixel, which is normally used for all actions in between. Now, these actions are reported in the stats for your tracking link in the A, E, and S columns. And with these numbers, Clickmagick can compute the conversion rates for each type of action. And they're shown here in the ACR, ECR, and SCR columns. These numbers show you exactly how well each page in your sales funnel is performing. So now let me show you how you would install these tracking pixels into this sales funnel. Let's click on the links menu. Next, let's open the tracking link that points to the opt-in page for the Antarctic Snowwater sales funnel. This is our tracking link, and you can see that it's set up so that the primary URL points to the Antarctic Snowwater capture page. You can see the statistics for this tracking link right here, and to start generating conversion numbers, we need to insert the appropriate tracking pixels in the sales page, checkout page, and thank you page. So let's start with the sales page since that's the first conversion of the funnel. And because it's the first, we're going to use an action tracking pixel. So let's go ahead and get that pixel code now. To do that, let's click on the setting icon here, and we'll choose track conversions. Here we see the three types of tracking pixels that are available: the sales tracking pixel, the action tracking pixel, and the engagement tracking pixel. Now notice that each of the tracking pixels has a section that says ref equals. This is a reference identifier that you should set whenever you paste a pixel into a page. Now you can choose anything you want for a reference identifier, but I'm going to recommend an abbreviated name for the funnel, followed by a dash, and then a short description of the page the pixel is going to be pasted into. In this case, the pixel is for the Antarctic Snowwater funnel, so I'm going to set the ref equals value to ASW, short for Antarctic Snowwater, then a dash, and then the word sales vid, since the pixel is going to be pasted into the sales video page of the funnel. This is super easy to do. I'll show you how in just a second. First, let's copy the action tracking pixel. Next, let's paste it into the sales video page. Now I'm using InstaBuilder to create these pages, so I'm going to show you how to insert a tracking pixel into an InstaBuilder page, but then I'll show you how to do it for many of the other popular page builders out there. So let's go ahead and click on the InstaBuilder tab. Okay, here's the sales page in the InstaBuilder editor, so let's add the action tracking pixel to this page. Now in most page builders, you're going to want to set your tracking pixel in the page's option settings. To do that in InstaBuilder, we click on the gear icon up here in the upper right. Then you want to poke around looking for something to do with tracking or scripts or codes. Now there's no mention of tracking in this menu, but there is a scripts and codes item, so let's go ahead and choose that. And as you can see right here, it says you can insert JavaScript and CSS code here, for example, tracking code, etc. So we're in the right area. So this is where we're going to paste our action tracking pixel. InstaBuilder allows you to paste codes into the header, body, and footer sections of the page. And you always want to paste Clickmagick tracking pixels into the body section of your pages, or they may not work correctly in all browsers. Let's do that now. I'm going to click in the body section and paste. Next, we need to set the ref equals value, so I'm going to click between the ref equals and the quotation mark and enter ASW-salesvid. Now that's all you need to do to set the ref equals value. So now let's go ahead and click on the Save button and let's go test it. Let's go back to Clickmagick. Let's open the tracking link. And as you can see right now, we have no clicks at all, which is not very useful. So first, let's click Preview, which will take us to the opt-in page and generate a click. Okay, now here's the opt-in page. Now let's go back and check the stats to see how things look. Let's refresh. And as you can see, we now have one total click and one unique click. We haven't fired any tracking pixels yet, so the rest of the stats are blank. So now let's go back to the opt-in page and enter our email address and see what happens. I'm going to enter steve@bestcoolproducts.com. Now let's hit buy. The sales page pulled up, so the action tracking pixel should have fired, indicating an action conversion. Let's go see. We'll click on Clickmagick, and then we'll hit refresh. Now we see that we have one action and our action conversion rate is 100%. That means that 100% of the unique visitors got to the page with the action tracking pixel, which in our case means that 100% of the people who made it to the email opt-in page entered an email address and got to the sales page. Now it's important to remember that conversion rates are always computed using the number of unique clicks, not the total clicks. This prevents someone, for example, from repeatedly refreshing a page and distorting all of your statistics. Now to set up your ENS conversions, you would go through the same steps as before. If you remember from the whiteboard diagram, you would paste the engagement tracking pixel into the checkout page, and you would paste the sales tracking pixel into the final thank you page. If you're using InstaBuilder, you would paste those pixels in those pages exactly as I showed you before. For other popular page builders, you can check out our 1-hour guide to click tracking up here in the help menu. Then scroll down to the section that says adding tracking pixels. Click on the link. And you can see here how you can insert tracking pixels with different page builders. And if you haven't read this entire tracking guide yet, it's well worth reading to get a great understanding of how to maximize your profits using click tracking. So now let's talk about a few advanced features of tracking pixels. Let's close this window and go back to the whiteboard. Now in this example with Antarctic snow water, I've shown you a fairly common 4-page funnel, but your funnel may have more pages than that. So how would you handle that? Well, with Clickmagick, it's pretty easy. You just insert an action, engagement, or sales tracking pixel into each of the extra pages, making sure that each pixel has a unique reference value. For example, if a visitor enters their email address, you might have several pages before the person is asked to buy, or you might have multiple buying options. You can track all of these using engagement tracking pixels with unique reference values. Let me show you how you would track these. First, let's go grab the engagement tracking pixel and paste it into the checkout page. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Let's choose track conversions. I'm going to copy the engagement tracking pixel. Next, we go to the checkout page in the InstaBuilder editor. We go to scripts and code. We paste the pixel in the body section. and then we add our reference value. I'm going to set it to ASW-17 promo for the $17 promotion, and now I'm going to save. The checkout page now has the pixel, so let's go back to the sales video page and hit the buy button to test it out. Okay, here's the checkout page. The engagement pixel should have fired with the reference value ASW-17 promo. So now let's go back and take a look at the funnel stats. We'll go to Clickmagick, we'll hit refresh, and now you can see that there's one engagement and that the engagement conversion rate is 100%. Now to see the breakdown of the engagement pixels that have been fired by their reference values, you simply click on the number in the E column. Here you can see the breakdown. You can see the level of activity in this chart. You can see the list of clicks here. And this is a list of the engagements by their ref equals setting. That's how you can have multiple tracking pixels of the same type but still tell them apart from each other. So now let's switch gears and talk about a special feature of the sales tracking pixel. The sales tracking pixel works just like the action and engagement tracking pixels, except that when a sales tracking pixel fires, Clickmagick knows that a sale was just made. And with a simple change to the sales tracking pixel, Clickmagick can record the sales amount and compute all sorts of valuable information for you, such as the cost per click, the cost per action, cost per sale, earnings per click, and your return on investment. To set this up, all you need to do is tell Clickmagick the cost of your traffic and the value of each sale. So let's start with adding the sales amount to the sales tracking pixel. Let's go to the track conversions page and grab that pixel. Okay, so if you look at the sales tracking pixel here, you see this additional setting that says amount equals 0.00. That's the sales amount. All you need to do here is change the 0.00 to the actual value of the sale. Now in our example, a case of Antarctic snow water is $17, so we would replace the 0.00 with 17.00. Now if your sales value changes depending upon what was bought, Clickmagick can handle that too. And what you'll want to do is take a look at this note down here and it will explain exactly how to set that up. So let's go ahead and copy this pixel. And now let's install it in the thank you page. I've got that in the InstaBuilder tab right up here. Let's go ahead and paste in the pixel like we've done before. Let's choose settings, then scripts and codes. Let's paste it into the body section. Now let's set the ref value to ASW-thank you. And now let's set the amount equals value to 17. I'm going to click here, backspace, and enter 17. And that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and save. Great, now let's go set up the cost of our traffic. Let's go back to Clickmagick. And to set up the cost of our traffic, we need to go into the advanced settings of the tracking link. Let's scroll down to where it says traffic cost. And here we need to enter a value. Now my traffic costs me 23 cents per click, so I'm going to enter 0.23 and check the CPC box, which stands for cost per click. You can check other settings here, cost per action, cost per sale, daily, monthly. If you need to set your traffic costs some other way, just click on the help icon over here and it'll walk you through the process. But for most people, you should be able to simply check one of these boxes. So that's it. The traffic cost is all set up, so let's save changes. You can already see that the cost per click and cost per action columns have been updated. And once we make our first sale, Clickmagick will automatically update the other columns as well. So let's go make a sale. Let's go to the checkout page, but I'm not going to enter any credit card information because it's not necessary to test that the sales tracking pixel is working. Instead, I'm just going to type in the URL of the final thank you page, and that will fire the sales tracking pixel as though I had gone through the entire credit card process. Let me do that now. It's antarcticsnowwater.com/thank-you. I'm going to hit enter. And here's the thank you page. That should have fired the sales tracking pixel and register a $17 sale with Clickmagick. So let's go see. Let's go back to Clickmagick and click refresh. And now you can see that Clickmagick has computed the remaining columns showing you exactly how your funnel is performing. To understand these numbers, you have to remember that we've gone all the way through the funnel exactly one time. And you can see that in the stats when you look at the UC, A, E, and S columns, which are all 1. And if you remember, we told Clickmagick that the cost per click was 23 cents. And because there's one unique click, one action, and one sale, these 3 columns each show 23 cents. For the EPC column, there was one sale earning $17 coming from a single click. So the earnings per click is $17. And finally, the return on investment is a whopping 7,291% because we earned $17 but spent only 23 cents to earn it. I hope you can see that with these numbers, you can see exactly what's working with your funnel, what's breaking down, and where you should focus your efforts to improve your funnel to maximize your sales. People always want to know what the secret is to online marketing. Well, if there's ever a secret to online marketing, it's tracking your sales funnel, because if you don't track your funnel, you can't optimize it. And if you can't optimize it, you're going to lose money. It's really that simple. Now, I should quickly mention that if you install your tracking pixels and test your funnel and something isn't working right, it's almost always because a pixel wasn't installed on a page correctly. Let me show you the easy way to find the problem. You use Clickmagick's built-in pixel tester. It's right up here in the Tools menu. Click Tools and then choose Pixel Tester. So what's great about the pixel tester is that it shows you a list of the pixels that have fired most recently, so that if things aren't working, the first thing you should do is take a look at this list. And if you don't find your pixel here, then either the page containing the pixel wasn't displayed or the page doesn't actually have a tracking pixel. Now, if your pixel is in this list, but your stats aren't showing the conversion, then you'll want to look at the link name column to verify that the pixel is being reported to the tracking link you think it should be. If the link name is pointing to a different tracking link, it means that you're using more than one tracking link in your funnel, and the conversion is being reported to that other link, and that's why you're not seeing the conversion. Now remember that by default, tracking pixels always report to the most recently clicked tracking link. So if you need to change this, you can find it at the top of the Track Conversions page where you copy your pixels. So before I wrap up, I want to make 2 final points. First, if you want to do a quick test to see if a page has a properly installed pixel, simply enter the URL of the page right here. Now, as an example, let's try the Antarctic Snowwater thank you page that we looked at a moment ago. We would expect to find a sales tracking pixel there. So let's enter the URL and test it. antarcticsnowwater.com/thank you. And here you can see that Clickmagick found the sales tracking pixel, so you know that we set the page up correctly. Now, the second point I wanted to make is that there is a list of other possible reasons that your conversion stats may not seem accurate. So let me show you the FAQ for that. Let's go up here to the Help menu. We'll choose FAQs. Let's click on the conversion tracking category. Now let's look through this list and choose what if my conversion stats don't seem accurate. This FAQ covers the most common reasons why your statistics may not seem accurate. So if you're having trouble, read through this thoroughly. One very common reason is right here where it says, if you've added a pixel to a secure page, make sure you change HTTP in the pixel code to HTTPS, otherwise most browsers won't load the pixel. And if the pixel doesn't load, it won't fire and you won't see the conversion. All you need to do is find where it says source equals HTTP in the pixel and change it to source equals HTTPS. Just insert the S after the P and the tracking pixel will work properly on a secure page. So if you have any other questions here, just follow this final note and contact us at the help desk. Now to wrap up this video, I want to do a quick summary. I've covered a lot of information here, but adding conversion tracking really comes down to a few simple steps. You copy the tracking pixel, you paste it into the body section of your web page, you set the ref equals value. If it's a sales tracking pixel, you set the amount equals value, and then you save. And by the way, if you have the option of where to paste the pixel in the body section of your page, try to paste it in the page as high as possible. That way, if somebody clicks away from the page before it's fully loaded, your pixel is more likely to get loaded and fired. So if you're like most people, once you have your conversion tracking set up and you start seeing clicks, it gets pretty exciting because you can see exactly what's happening. So have fun with this. And again, if you need additional help, just contact us at our help desk. This is Steve with Clickmagick. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.